India Global.
India Global.
Hello and welcome to India Global.
We are back with another exciting excursion across the world.
Today we sojourn to a country in the heart of South America.
This is a country with an abundance of water resources and among the few countries in the world that derive their names from the rivers flowing through them.
The world's largest drinking water reservoir, the Guarani Aquifer, lies beneath its soil.
And one of the biggest hydroelectric power dams, the Itaipu Dam, stands at its border with Brazil.
This country is also one of the only two landlocked nations in South America.
This is the land called Paraguay.
A traditional folk song of Paraguay with music played on the Paraguayan harp.
Paraguay derives its name from the river Paraguay, which means water that flows to the sea.
Paraguay's other important river is the Parana.
The country shares its borders with Bolivia to the north, Brazil to the east, and Argentina to the south.
It has a population of 6.7 million with a 92% literacy rate. 97% of its people live in just 3% of its land area.
In contrast to most other Latin American nations, Paraguay's native language, Guarani, has retained much of its original importance.
Guaranis were the native tribes who inhabited Paraguay before the country was colonized by the Europeans in the late 15th and early 16th centuries.
From that time until its independence in 1811, Paraguay was ruled by the Spanish.
Fulgencio Jagaros, the first head of the state of independent Paraguay, is regarded as the father of the nation.
Today, the Republic of Paraguay is a representative democracy with a presidential system of government. The president has a 5-year tenure. Paraguay's capital city, Asunción, is also the country's largest city.
Guarani is the official language, but Spanish is also widely spoken. The Guarani is also the official currency of Paraguay.
Geographically, Paraguay is composed of two major regions, divided by the Paraguay River. The western area, called the Chaco, is fertile grassland, surrounded by palm trees, lakes and forests. The southeastern region, which has the highest population concentration, is characterized by a reddish soil because of the high concentration of iron and aluminium.
The Itaipu Dam on the Parana River is one of the largest hydroelectric dams in the world. Completed in 1984, this dam is approximately 196 meters in height and 7,920 meters in length. It generates 14,000 megawatt of electricity and provides hydroelectric power for much of the country.
Paraguay is largely an agro-export-driven economy, with soy and beef its principal agricultural produce. As a power surplus country, production and export of hydroelectric power is also a major economic activity in Paraguay. And Paraguay GDP has grown at a very impressive 14.5% over the last few years. Bilateral relations between India and Paraguay, which have been warm and friendly, were established in 1950. The Indian Embassy in Buenos Aires, Argentina, is concurrently accredited to Paraguay. Paraguay opened its resident mission in India in 2006.
Economic and trade ties between India and Paraguay have grown steadily over the years. Reflecting on the increase in turnover in bilateral trade between India and Paraguay, Ambassador Amarendra Katua says,
in 3 years' time, from $25 million annual trade turnover, we are reaching almost $150 million now. Our exports reaching almost $110 million. And the range of products we export to Paraguay include automobiles, Mahindra trucks, plastics, master patches, and a large number of engineering products. Second part is, as you know, in Latin America, the growth chart shows both Peru and Paraguay are doing extremely well. Paraguay is doing extremely well in agricultural products. Therefore, our sourcing some of the items which we buy from different countries can be sourced to Paraguay, such as edible oils, different kind of specialized grains, and captive production of pulses and lentils for Indian market.
Also, Indian companies have shown keenness in developing farmland in Paraguay for growing oilseeds and food crops.
And an Indian IT firm, in collaboration with a local company, has set up a call center employing around 1,300 Paraguayans.
India's ambassador to Paraguay, Amarendra Katua, says there is still considerable scope to further develop bilateral economic ties.
The most important thing is to increase our trade to a higher level, to set up more joint ventures, to use Paraguay as a hub because Paraguay is energy sufficient, energy surplus. To use that, say for example, to put up a cement plant, we are having negotiations now because it has limestone and energy. These are the points which can be coordinated for our outreach program.
On the political front, parliamentary delegations from both countries have been holding periodic meetings. The first ever parliamentary delegation from Paraguay visited India in 2010.
And in the first ever visit of a Paraguayan head of state, the then president of Paraguay, Fernando Lugo, had visited India in May 2012.
In 2012, Meera Kumar, the then Speaker of the Lok Sabha, led a delegation of Indian members of Parliament to Paraguay.
India's ambassador to Paraguay, Amarendra Khatua, tells us more about the high-level contacts between the two countries.
A few months back, we were there with Special Secretary AMS for Foreign Office consultation. This is being followed by now visit by the Vice Foreign Minister of Paraguay to India. During his visit, we will have lots of substantive talks, including finalization of setting up the Center of Excellence of Information Technology.
Paraguay has a colorful culture. The Paraguayan polka has developed as Paraguay's national dance known as Danza Paraguaya. Another traditional Paraguayan dance is the bottle dance, where girls balance bottles on their heads, one on top of the other, which can go up to as many as 10 in number.
Elaborating on the people-to-people contact between the two countries and the Indian diaspora living in Paraguay, Ambassador Amarendra Khatua says,
in Ciudad del Este, we have about 70 Indians. Most of them are in small trading between Brazil, Argentina and Paraguay. In Asuncion, we have about total 15 yoga associations and a couple of old India hands, which includes Mr. Shah. That is one of the oldest textile establishment of Paraguay.
Indian art and culture has gained considerable popularity in Paraguay. Paraguayans love Indian food. The ancient Indian practice of yoga is also keenly followed here.
Ambassador Amarendra Khatua recounts the great enthusiasm with which the first International Day of Yoga was celebrated in Paraguay.
More than anything, the way we celebrated International Day of Yoga in Paraguay, that reflects how much love exists in Paraguay for Indian art and culture. Then in a couple of universities we have introduced yoga, especially University of Asuncion. Almost 3,000 students practice yoga. Every year almost we have a festival of Indian foods in Sheraton, and this year we are planning to do two.
A traditional craft for which Paraguay is famous for is nianduti. This is the craft of making a colorful embroidered lace. Nianduti means spiderweb in Guarani, as the intricate embroidery rather resembles a spider's web.
A key modern city in Paraguay is Encarnacion, which means incarnation in Spanish. This city, located in southern Paraguay, is the carnival capital of Paraguay.
Speaking on Paraguay as a tourist destination, India's ambassador to Paraguay, Amarendra Khatua, says,
things which attracts people to go to Paraguay are the Jesuit ruins, which is beautiful. They have about 16 monuments and now they are the heritage monuments. Besides, Paraguay has excellent drive till Brazil border. The tri-country junction is excellent. When you are talking about Paraguay River, the Chaco is vast area with nothing and a beautiful river, right?
Paraguayans are keen followers of the sport of football. The national football team has participated in 8 FIFA World Cups, won 2 Copa America tournaments, and bagged a silver medal at the Olympic Games in 2004.
With that, we wrap our visit to Paraguay. But before we go, here's a question for you.
What is the craft of making a colorful embroidered lace known as in Paraguay?
Send in your answers with your full address to indiajourneys360@gmail.com.
The first 3 winners will get a music CD from AIR Archives and a DVD from the Ministry of External Affairs.
Congratulations Ansari Iftikharuddin from Thane in Maharashtra, Girish from Banaswadi in Bangalore for sending in the right answer to a question on Turkey. Mimad Yusuf was the Ottoman architect who came to India and entered the service of Akbar.
So until next time, it's goodbye from us.
And travel safe.